When it comes to playing guitar and feeling like a rock star, being able to play the guitar and sing songs at the same time is one of those things that's really going to take you to the next level and help you impress everybody that you play for. But how do you do that? I mean, how do you coordinate playing something on the guitar and singing it at the same time? That can be pretty daunting if you're just starting out. So today I'm going to break that down for you. I'm going to give you 3 steps on how you can go from just playing guitar to playing guitar and singing and feeling like a rock star and all your friends being impressed with you. Now, step 1. The first thing you have to do to be able to play guitar and sing well is you have to know the guitar part really, really well, okay? And I recommend that you simplify the guitar part as much as possible. For example, rather than taking a guitar part like this, and just trying to sing over a complicated picking pattern or strumming pattern like that, I suggest that you break it down to single strums per chord. So you're just going. And that's going to make your job a lot easier. But here's the thing, you have to know that really well. You have to repeat the song. You have to be able to play it without thinking about it. Now, we just did this with a band at my music school where they were learning a song and they wrote the lyrics to it. And within 2 months, these kids went from not being able to play really to being able to play a full song that they could play and sing at the same time. Oh, and they wrote the lyrics too. Now, to do that, we kept the playing part really simple. It was just like this. But because that was so simple, they were able to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it and get it down to where they didn't have to think about it. Now, once they had that down, though, we went on to step number 2. And step number 2 is singing the song a lot of times so that you can sing it without having to think about it. So it's just like when we're playing guitar, we have to know the guitar part well enough that we don't have to actively think about, okay, what are we playing next? What's coming up? So you repeat it and you repeat it and you repeat it. Most people don't do enough repetitions with whatever they play, so do more of them. And then go sing it more than you think you need to. Now, what is the big thing that holds people back with their singing when they're trying to do this is they always sing with the recording, and don't do that. What you want to do is turn off the recording and sing it without the recording, because it's going to be a totally different experience to hear your own voice and to be able to sing it without listening to what is going on. You want to do both. I mean, sing it with the recording, but spend a lot of time also singing it without the recording until you can sing it pretty much without thinking about it with no recording. So we did that with our band too. We took these kids, we threw them in a room, they wrote the lyrics to the song, we had a melody for them, so they wrote the lyrics, and then we sang it over and over and over until they could sing it without having to really think about it. And that's when we put them together for step number 3. Now, step number 3 is when we put the playing and the singing together. So they went from just playing the song and doing it musically and just singing the song by themselves and being able to do that to being able to play and sing at the same time. Now, that was possible because, 1, they were really familiar with the vocal part. They were familiar with the lyrics, they were familiar with the melody, and they were really familiar with the musical part, with the guitar part. Actually, we had the drummer and keyboards playing and singing at the same time as well. So this is like instrument neutral, okay? Same idea. Keep it simple, and then get the musical part down, get the singing part down, and then start to put them together. Now, the simpler that the musical part is, the better. So these kids were able to take a really simple part and start to write some lyrics on top of it, and it sounded great because they were able to then take that within 2 months and go from nothing to being able to play that whole song that they helped write and then perform it in a concert. That's a pretty big deal, right? So if you've been playing guitar for a long time, you've never tried playing and singing, this is the time to do it, and this is how you do it. This is how you're going to feel like a rock star and be able to go out and play songs and sing them for people and feel like a rock star when you do that. Now, here are some examples of real songs that you could do this with, and really, you can do this with anything. So these are just examples, okay? So first example is Love Me Do by the Beatles. You could take this song because it's mostly G and C. There's a little bit of a D chord that gets played in there too. But you would just practice, instead of going like this and playing the full strum pattern, instead of doing that, you simplify it down to single strums and you go like this. And then you practice the singing and you put it together. Now, I'm skipping the singing part and I'm just going to put it together like this so you get the idea of what we're going for here, okay? So this would sound like this. Love, love me do, you know I love you, I'll always be true, right? So really simple. You simplify it down as much as you can and then you change it up. Now, another song that we just did, My Hero by Foo Fighters, right? And My Hero is gonna go like this. You would take your two chords for the verse, which is your E chord and your C sharp minor 9 chord, and you would just play those one time, and you'd go, too alarming now to talk about, and you're just simplifying it. Take those pictures down and shake it out. Truth or consequence, say it aloud. And then in the chorus, it's even easier because there's only one chord that you sing over. So you're just going, there goes my hero, watch him as he goes. So the idea is the same thing. You know the singing, you know the guitar part, and then you simplify it and put it together. Now, as you get better and better and better, you're going to start singing it with the more complicated version as well, as you don't have to think about the playing of it. So let's do our first example that I showed you earlier. This is Good Riddance by Green Day. And what you would do is you would simplify it and you'd go, another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. And from there, you start to practice doing it with the more complicated version, right? But the most important thing is that your timing is right with the playing and the singing. So that's why I like you to simplify it down as much as you can. Now, we could do this with other songs too, and while Green Day is on my mind, we could do something like this. She screams in silence, a sullen riot penetrating through her mind, waiting for a sign to smash her silence with a brick of self-control. And then you start to complicate it and do the more strumming. So you could go, she screams in silence, a sullen riot penetrating through her mind, waiting for a sign to smash her silence with a brick of self-control. And that's why you start with the simple version and build up to playing the full version, okay? Now, I don't want you to just play one chord all the time. I just want you to start out with that. I want you to get comfortable with whatever it is that you're playing first, and then complicate it and start playing the full version. But this is how you get started. This is how you go from feeling like, oh wow, I could never play guitar and sing at the same time, I'm too much of a beginner for that, to being able to start doing it even if you're just starting out. You keep it really simple. You learn the guitar part really well so that you can play it without thinking. Then you learn the singing part really well so you can sing it without thinking. And then you simplify it and start putting it together. The fourth step would be complicating it and going to the full version as you go. So what I want you to do, your homework, is to pick a song that you want to sing and play at the same time. And I want you to start going through this process with that song so that you can go play it for somebody. I don't care who it is. Go play it for your friend. Go play it for your mom. I don't care. Whoever it is, go play it. You know, go to an open mic night and do it there. Go to the farmer's market and sing it there. Whatever it is, right? But the point is, you can play guitar and sing at the same time. And if you follow this process, it's going to help you do that a lot faster so that when you do play guitar and sing for people, you are going to feel like a rock star. Everybody's going to be impressed with you, and that is going to make you feel awesome. So I hope that was fun for you. I hope it was clear. Now, if you got a lot of value out of this video, then I have another gift for you as well. If you go to simpleguitar.com/top10, there I have a guide for you called the top 10 things to learn on guitar first. And that guide are 10 things that will get you a lot of bang for your buck when it comes to your guitar playing. A lot of people waste a lot of time learning things that don't get them playing and sounding like they know what they're doing right away. They spend a lot of time working at things that are harder than they need to be. So go get that guide, have fun with it, use the things in that guide to start getting more bang for your buck with your playing. Have fun singing and playing the guitar at the same time. Do let me know in the comments what song you're gonna go do this with first. And I will catch you in the next video.